What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Belle Collective Birmingham. Okay, y'all, I'm coming on here acting like I left and just kind of hopped on here yesterday. Baby, your girl been working, okay? I appreciate y'all, though, being patient. I ask that y'all continue to be patient with me as I push out videos, but it's not, work just been busy, and work has been a bit of a priority this week, last week. It's a priority right now. So, yes, and I've had to take work home. So, yes, I just need y'all to really be patient with me. I appreciate it, and I thank y'all so much, and I thank y'all for checking on me and everything. Thank you. It goes unnoticed, I promise. So, Belle Collective Season 1, Episode 3, The Live Before the Storm. Y'all, we pick up at game night. And so they had this little piece of balloon game that these couples was playing where the ladies was sitting on their husband's lap. And I was like, girl, like I really just needed y'all to catch it. It was a little short clip. I was like, but I'm gonna let y'all have it. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all have it. So Fumi and Tiffany still having a conversation. Fumi tells Tiffany that her vibe was off. Tiff said, I own the room and I'm confident. And she was like, I don't feel like, and as soon as she said that, Fumi cut her off and said, but I'm not intimidated by your confidence. So Tiffany said, so are we going to talk over each other? And are we going to give each other time to talk? So she tells Fumi, listen, I remember hugging and embracing you. So I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. But Tiffany was like, listen, however, your feelings are valid. And she validated her feelings. And I just feel like I'm going to let y'all know how I feel. So Fumi tells Tiffany, if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, then there's nothing I can do. Fumi was like, okay, I'm going to leave. So as she's leaving, she walks out. Stormy goes behind Fumi and asks, what did Fumi say? I felt like this whole exchange was confusing because Fumi did say that Tiffany said she don't remember saying this or that. This is what Fumi tells Stormy. Then Fumi says to Stormy, when somebody, when you don't vibe with someone, and Stormy was like, so you feel like it's more of a discernment. Fumi's response was, you saw your dog barking. So Fumi said, I told Tiffany how I felt, and she was dismissive. Me. I need Fumi to help me understand exactly what did Tiffany do. And how was Tiffany dismissive when clearly she validated your feelings. She was saying your feelings are valid, but I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. She told you how she, how she embraced you. And when she made that comment about you and her friend, I don't know if Tiffany said that comment out loud or if that was just a confessional comment. But if she said it directly to you, Fumi, then you should have been able to express it. You're going based off of feelings and not what's actually presented in front of you instead of facts. Like, no. So anyway, Tiffany said Fumi is running off an assumption, and I don't have an issue with Fumi. I just have an issue with Fumi bringing this shit at my event. Okay, the nice nasty church lady didn't curse, but I'm saying that. Okay, you just. So Tiffany is now like, so now I have to question your intentions and why are you really here? Like, are you here to ruin my event? Like, what are your intentions? And I feel like that is a valid question from Tiffany. I know everybody don't like the nice nasty church lady. I like all of the ladies, okay? I really do. I just think sometimes Tiffany will give nice nasty church lady. So Stormy says to Sonetta, well, you asked Fumi to come, and Sonetta was like, I didn't. And so production flashed it back. both Amber and Sonetta suggest Fumi show up. And I was like, Amber, ain't you gonna say, girl. So Tiffany tells the ladies, thank you for messing up my game night. And she said, next time, bring your husbands. And she was like, I need you to mop. And Stormy is in her confessional pissed off because who are you to tell me to mop? Like, I'm almost $1 billion bitch. Who are you telling to mop? Okay, if you want something mop, call Mr. Clean Ho. She didn't say that. So she was like, I need you to mop. That's what she did. I need you to mop. And I think, in Tiffany's defense, I think Tiffany was joking. I think if you was stupid enough to go and mop, she would have let you mop. Okay? Ma'am, I'm saying this to you, Miss Tiffany. If you need a mop, you better call Luther's Janitorial Services. Okay? Shout out to Set It Off. Because who you talking to? Like, I really thought Tiffany was just playing. And so she was like, clean up on aisle 7 or something to that effect. But I feel like Tiffany has this weird people humor, and you got to be weird like her in order to catch her humor. Okay? We all know Tiffany has weird lady humor because she has an E in her name. Tiffany. Okay? I'm just kidding. Shout out to the Tiffany's with the E at the end of their name. Okay? So anyway, then it's the next day. Stormy and Mikey have a conversation. Mikey is her employee. So they talk about the live event that they're getting ready to have, and that they want Martell to host a live TikTok event with Lala Anthony. Stormy said the women thinks that he's hot. And I was like, who? Fucking Ariane? Girl. And you know what? Some of you raggedy hoes that be in his DM, and y'all know how he is. And speaking of Martell, he was not in this episode. Had we seen him in this episode, in the episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, which you can catch it right after this video. Okay. So, he was like, she called Martell to ask him if he wanted to do it. And, he was like, did you tell Lala that I've been the villain for 6 years? And I'm like, sir, you are still the villain. We will never like you. And you're trying to be the victim when you villainize your ex. You cheated on your ex. You had a baby on your ex. This ain't even about that show. Okay? Don't piss me off, Martell. Stupid ass nigga. Anyway, Amber and Tiffany. So there is this back and forward conversation. Stormy and Mike, Amber and Tiffany. Okay? So Amber visits Tiffany. She asked Tiffany how did she feel about game night. And she was like, you're very passionate about married people events. And she don't think, Amber asked Tiffany, how did she feel about game night? Tiffany's response was, I'm very passionate about my married events, and I just don't think Fumi is a bad person. She does not dislike Fumi. That's what she keeps saying. So then we pan back over to Stormy and Mikey. And Stormy tells Mikey that Tiffany's energy was off, and it's something about her energy. And Stormy is pissed off at this point. But girl, that lady was joking. Like, what you doing? She was joking. Anyway, Stormy don't really like Tiffany's snobbish-esque ways. Okay, Stormy, don't piss me off. All right? I like you, and I like you a lot, but don't piss me off. So, back over to Amber and Tiffany. Sonetta called Amber to tell her that Tiffany, she got a text from Stormy, and the only people that were invited to the live event was what's her name? Was Kayla and Fumi. and Sonetta. And I was like, Stormy, that was very childish. Like, why would you do that? And you can see Tiffany's face visibly. You know, it seemed like her feelings was hurt. And my feelings would have been hurt too. But, you know, Tiffany championed it. She was like, cool, I'm not tripping. If she wasn't going to let y'all see her tripping. I'm a firm believer of that. Okay? So anyway, Stormy, back to Stormy and Mikey. She tells Mikey she uninvited Tiffany, but it had nothing to do with Tiff. And I'm looking at Stormy like, girl, you's a lie. It had everything to do with Tiffany and her telling you to mop. And the lady was just playing. And I also feel like you are piggybacking off of Fumi's energy, Fumi's feelings, and not facts that she has with Tiffany. Okay, y'all really are bouncing off of each other, and I just don't think that's fair to Tiffany. Anyway, Stormy said that energy is everything because she's an empath. But I was like, bitch, what the fuck is an empath? But we're gonna let you have it. Okay? The bottom line is you was pissed off because that lady asked you to mop. Okay, keep it a buck. Keep it a bean, keep it a buck. You didn't want to. So back over with Tiffany and Amber. Yes, Tiffany and Amber. Tiffany tells Amber, you know, y'all have a good time, okay? Y'all have a good time. I'm cool. It is what it is. So I really think underneath all that, Tiffany's feelings was hurt because she was uninvited. And I think she respects Stormy. Because even when Stormy left out of her event, she said, oh my God, I was so happy to see Stormy. Or whatever. I will say this, Tiffany, you not inviting Fumi to your event, even though you know she's married, and you opening an invite to Stormy, that did feel kind of, that was. So I feel like this is a full circle moment. Okay, you didn't invite Fumi. You ain't going to this event. That's childish though, y'all. You can't operate like that. But I'm just saying, you know, just stuff just kind of have a way of coming back around to you. Okay, so I think that's a part of the reason why Fumi feels the way she does about Tiffany. So I'm not going to rule that out, but I'm also not going to pile on Tiffany as well. Anyway, we get to Carla's house. Okay. So Carla's son get home from school. She got 4 kids. They come home from school. This is the oldest boy. Teacher, she was like, first thing she asked him was, I hope you wasn't acting up in school. Which probably means your child is an asshole. Sorry, not sorry. The way this little boy's attitude was, it gives, he act like that pedophile ass daddy. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. So he told the teacher under his breath to get off of his meat. Let me tell you something. My 2, I ain't gonna hold y'all, the little one, there are times where I wanted to yoke her up. Because why is you acting like that? Okay, why is you at these people's school acting like that? Okay, I got a call a long time ago from one of her teachers. He was like, listen, Miss Jones, because we go to the same church, and that ended up being my daughter's vice principal, I think, at the time. And he was like, sis, like, it was a professional call, but because we know each other from church, he was like, sis, I need you to calm down with what I'm about to tell you. So he told me what happened. And so I was like, I couldn't curse either because I know him from church. But actually she was doing the right thing. So she did not get in trouble for that. But the other one, my oldest one, never, ever gave trouble in school. Ever. Teacher was like, oh, your son, oh my God, he did this. I mean, running down a whole bunch of stuff. And my response was, you talking about so and so? So and so, so and so? First name and last name. He said, oh my God, no. That's your son? I say, yeah, that's my son. Oh my God, we love him. He is such a good kid. Not the little one, okay? The yucca up. Anyway, that's not what this is about. But what I'm saying is Kyla, K apostrophe la. Yoke him the up. Because how are you going to tell a teacher, a grown-ass teacher, to stay off of your meat? Sir, you don't know how to wipe your ass good, and for you to be talking to you know what, moving forward, let's just move it along. So she said motherhood came easily. Kyla, please, something tells me that your husband had hands-on with your kids, had control over how you should raise your kids, which probably told you never to touch them, and you did not. You didn't discipline them. He did. And so you grew up with them, so they are your friends. Girl, your son needs a belt to ass. That's what he needs. Okay? I skip a whole page. And so I feel like you laughing is you condoning this little prick ass behavior, and it's only gonna get worse if you don't nip that shit in the bud. Okay? Clean, like, you know, just I had one of those ghetto parenting moments. Okay, speaking of that, I'm still supposed to give y'all my other episode, my third episode of Life Unscripted about parenting, because I got to talk about that. Anyway, Kella tells us that both her and her husband work, but when she made it, you know, she started making more of the money, he decided that he wanted to live a soft life while this lady worked. And I feel like that was intentional. I feel like not only does he need to be in jail for you at 16, getting you pregnant at 18 to tie you down so you won't leave, he need to be jailed every time he impregnated you, making you child his slave. Okay? I don't like her husband, ex-husband. Anyway, apparently Kyla's daughter Bella has a curriculum night at school from 6 to 7:30. So she asked the oldest boy to keep an eye on her youngest son, you know, while she's at curriculum night, not at the house, but the way she said it, like, hey, come with us and you keep an eye on him while I tend to curriculum night. He said that he don't want to do it because it's boring. Now, I'm going to not say he told his mama, no, I'm not keeping him. I'm thinking he told his mom he doesn't want to go to curriculum night because it's boring. I don't know. I also understand, because I'm not finna watch your kid. Nobody tell you to have all four of these children for the PDF file, and now I have to be hands on with him. He's my brother, not my son. Ooh. Figure it out, okay? So she said, you know, she was gonna call the dad so, you know, they can tackle that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Anyway, she was dating this 32-year-old man when she was 16, and she kept it from her mom. Later on, she tells Fumi that she lied about her age. Like, Kayla, what is this? Anyway, she was married at 18. She wanted to tell her mom, you know, she was dating a overgrown ass man. And when her mom actually found out, her mom had a fit. She was angry. She cussed her the fuck, and then cussed him the fuck out. But all that cussing, ma'am, you should have called the police. That's what you should have did. But they waited. You waited till you was 18 to tell your mama, because you knew what you was doing wasn't right. Anyway, she threw her daughter out. I was like, why would you do that? So she was like, she didn't want to shack up with the PDF file. So she decided to marry him 11 days later, and I was like, this is a lot. Okay, this is trifling and this is a lot. But I put all the responsibility on her husband. You was just being a young girl and doing what young girls do. Okay? Yeah. Because it took him while you was 16 to groom. So this is no fault of Kayla's. At the end of the day, she did what she was supposed to do. She married him, was with him, and she divorced him. And now we're here. It is what it is. So Stormy, apparently she doesn't have all 5,000 of her boxes. So Courtney's going to go, Courtney has his own trucking company, and he's going to go to Chicago to pick up the boxes. She had a conversation with the people that were preparing her boxes. So then we see Amber and Kylan. They're packing to go to Stormy's event. Kylan is an influencer and marketing coordinator at Canvas Beauty. She graduated from the University of Alabama with her business marketing degree. Shout out to Kylan. And that's how we introduced to Kylan. Okay, she's been around for quite a while. Stormy, so not only does she have a warehouse, she has a content house where she does all of her TikTok things and her setup for all of her events. And her warehouse content was gorgeous. I don't know who does her events, but I'm not mad at it. It was nice. So Sanetta, Fumi, and Kyla, they're on their way to the TikTok event. And they tell Kyla, what happened at game night. And they also Sanetta lets the ladies know that Tiffany was uninvited to Stormy's TikTok event. And Sanetta decided she wanted to call Tiffany. And I was like, why? Anyway, Tiffany said, girl, me and my husband finna go to Atlanta to go get something to eat. And it's all good. And y'all have a good time. It is what it is. Okay. Anyway, Tiffany talks with Ricky Smiley. She said that was her uncle. Okay. She said she was uninvited. Oh, in her confessional, she expressed that she was uninvited and she's headed to Atlanta to eat. She also says that, listen, I want a baby. I'm not on birth control. And my husband wants a vasectomy. So I'm hoping that I get up under the oven that night. Okay. Anyway, she also said that, I wish Stormy had called and had a conversation with me because I was confused by me being uninvited, and I don't blame her. So anyway, we get to Stormy's event again, full circle. I don't want to be this person. I don't like to show up as this person, but girl, all of her shit was acting up. She was frustrated. Lala's there. Lala's excited. Kyla, Sanette, and Fumi are at the still on their way. So she tells the ladies her backstory, and she tells them, listen, I wasn't looking for Jason. Jason is the current boyfriend who I feel like is using her because he knows she's about to get on this. She was on this show because he's a marketer. Anyway, fine. She said Jason has been helping her. She said her dad passed when she was 11 years old. Fumi thinks that Kyla didn't get any parental love overall. Fumi is me. And she's also keeping her good eye on Jason, which is me again. I don't trust him. We don't like him. We don't know him. And you live all the way in Dallas. Okay, I forgot what he looked like. But if I see you out here in these Dallas streets, okay, it's got my eye on you. I forgot what the man looked like. But still, You're traveling, a newly divorced woman with 4 kids. You're much older than her. You live in another state. How is this supposed to work? How is this supposed to work? Anyway, I don't know. Kayla needs time for herself. So anyway, we get to Stormy's event. Her sound isn't working. Shit happens. They fixed it. They have the 1, 2, 3 release them, girl. You know, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 release them. I wish to have it. That girl. Okay, I don't know that song, but she lived in the same city my cousin. Shout out to my cousin. Okay. Anyway, so they have another hiccup. So the trio was flashing instead of the box. She's pissed because she was like, listen, these people gonna be looking at me and not everybody else. This my name on the line. So this why the episode went off, y'all. I don't know what to say. It was actually pretty good though. I do hope that the ladies get a little bit of straightening on their ends, because it looked like, what's her name, Kylan is going to check Kayla next week over some foolishness. It looked like Stormy wants to have a problem with Tiffany with the E. Yeah, so it's just gonna be bullshit. And with all of that being said, this is your girl Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.